Now that we have all our files in the project panel, let's talk about the tools that are over here so that we can start editing. I'm going to explain you what are these tools for and what they do, and we're going to start from the top, okay? It's already marked here, and this is called the selection tool. It looks like an arrow, and I guess the name says it all. And I'm going to choose, like, I don't know, let's choose just like 4 videos. And what you're going to do, I just selected them. What you're going to do is to click and drag them to the timeline. Just drag them. And immediately you just created a sequence. The sequence is going to have all the settings of the videos that you chose here, okay? But that's for the next lesson. Now we're going to show you the tools. I'm going to show you the tools. For example, now you understand why I called it a day in a park, no? Because basically the videos are all in a park close to the house. So, okay. The selection tool, like the name says, is just to select the files. You can select them, move them, you can put them over here, you can put them over here, like, is to select them and move them around. Now the short key for this is V. So if you are, I don't know, with another key, like for example this cat tool, and you press V, immediately, as you can see, it changed to the arrow. So V is going to be the short key. You don't need to be going over here, and we're going to talk about it. Every single tool has a different short key, and you don't need to memorize all of them, but as soon as you start practicing and practicing, you're gonna get the ones that you use more, and you can use the short keys to make your workflow faster. And let me tell you, when you are editing videos that are really long, or videos of, I don't know, like 10 minutes or more than 10 minutes, it's gonna take you a lot of time if you don't know the short keys. So remember, short key for this is V. Now if we come here, we have the track select forward tool, like a long name, and it's very useful. Now the short key is A, so if I press A, there you go. As you can see, there are 2 little black arrows pointing to the left, and this is the one I'm going to show you. But to show you this, I'm going to pull more videos, okay? Let's grab all of these videos from here to here, and let's just drag them into the timeline. There you go. Now we have a lot of footages here. What happened, okay? What happened? Let's go back to the select tool. I want to show you something. What happened if you are editing here and you want to move this to the left? When you move this to the left, you start to cut the next video. So what you want is to select everything from here to the other side. But because we have so many videos, you will have to do this. But what happens if you have here like audio files and titles, and you have so many things here, it's going to be very difficult to select everything in the left side. So what you do is you just press A, like I show you. That's the short key for the track select forward, A. And then as soon as you put the arrows on the top of this video, as you can see, it selects everything. Amazing, isn't it? Now, if you have, let's put V again. I'm going to show you something else. If you have like this, for example, if you have like a tower and you have something here like this, if you have a lot of videos, one on the top of the other, don't worry, you'll understand why I'm doing this, the top videos and everything, don't worry. We're talking about the tools now, okay? So we press A again, we go back to this tool. As soon as I press here, everything from here forward is going to be selected, even all these towers. Look, when I press, everything was selected. So you move everything. It's really useful, let me tell you, really useful. Now, let's go back. When I'm trying to show you these things and I go back to what it was, I just press Ctrl Z, okay? This is actually in every software, every program that exists, Ctrl Z is going to be always to go back where it was. Like you erase the last thing that you did. Now, what happens if what I want to do is to move just this line here? I don't want these other files that are on the top to move, just this line. Okay, where it says V1A1. I'm going to explain you about this later, so don't worry. So what we do is we put the arrows exactly in the same file, exactly like we were doing before, but you're going to press Shift And look at this, it just changed it to one arrow, and as you click in the file, it's selecting just that line. It's not selecting the ones on the tower over here. Now, why these two are not selected? Don't worry about it. It's because these two audios belong to these files. Okay, when I move the files, it just got there, so don't worry about it. But this is the way, when you press shift, it's going to mark just that line, and it's not going to mark the rest of the lines. If you have towers here of like audios and pictures and titles and things here, just this. Okay, that's the way. Now let's go back to V. Always we go back to the arrow, to the select things. We can move and drag the things. Okay, so we go back to these files. Now let's move the files here because I want to show you something. Now, when you see the tools here, you're going to see that some of them have a little triangle here, a little like a white triangle on the bottom. You see, it means that there's more tools inside this like a box. So this is the track select forward tool, the short key A that we just did. But if you go here in the corner and you click and hold, you'll see that there's another one here. It's Shift A. That means track select backward tool, and this is the short key, Shift A. Okay, if you don't remember the shortkeys I'm telling you, when you are playing with the Premiere Pro, you can see every time you mark something, it says also next to it the short keys. There you go, we just selected it, and you can see that this is exactly the same as before, two black arrows, but now they're pointing to the other side. Okay, so let's go to V. If you are with me in this moment, press V, go to selection tool, and now press Shift A. You see? Incredible, like magic. The short key makes the tool come up. Now, what is this for? I think it's easy to understand because the arrows are pointing to the other side. It's exactly the same as the other tool that we were using, but to the opposite side. So when you click here, it's going to mark everything to the left side, to backwards. So you can move that backwards and put whatever you want here in the middle. Okay, now do you remember that when we pressed shift you can move just one line? The same here. I'm going to show you. Let's put like one file here. Let's make a nice tower here. Okay, now we're going to Shift A. There you go. But now we're going to press shift. Look at this, it changed it to one arrow. So when I mark, it's just the same line. It's V1. That's the only line that is going to be marked. So it's exactly the same thing as the A, as the other tool, but in this case it's to the other side. It's to go backwards instead of going forward. As simple as that. Now let's press V, let's go to the selection tool again. Let's go back to the simple 4 videos that we have here. And I'm going to show you the next tool. And the next tool is called the Ripple Edit tool. And the short key is the B. This tool is very useful. It's extremely useful. Why? This is going to help you to cut files. I'm going to put, let me see, this is too small video. I don't want this. Let's see this one. Let's take it here. Let's put another video so I can show you better. Okay, we have few videos here. Okay, oh, that's a nice dog. Okay, let's do this. We're going to use the Ripple Edit tool, or B. I use this tool a lot. For example, let's make this bigger. You can play with this. You can move this and make it bigger and shorter, or also you can use the plus key in your keyboard, and that's it. It's going to do exactly the same. If I don't like this part, I want the model to start walking there. So what I do, if I'm in V, I'm in the selection tool, I want to cut this part, okay? And normally we're gonna use this, the razor tool, that the short key is the C, no? That's the cut tool. So I can cut this part, it's already cut it. Then I go back to V, then I'm going to select this, I'm going to erase what I don't want because I want this to start here. But there is a hole here, so I have to select here and press delete so we stick the images together. Now it's exactly where I want it. That's like 4 steps to cut a footage. I don't like that. Let's go back to where it was. Again, I want to cut from here. So now we're going to use the Ripple tool that we're talking about. Let's press B. We have the Ripple tool now here. You can see it's like 2 arrows and a line in the middle with a red line saying that this is not going to work here. let's see, this is not going to work here. Let's see, this is not going to work here. But if you go to the edge, oh my God, look at this. It changed to yellow. So now it means we can cut. So what this tool is going to do is you're gonna click here and drag it to the point you want to cut. And look what is going to happen. Immediately you cut it and the image moved to the left. So it means you don't need to erase any hole. As you can see now, here is there and it's starting exactly where I wanted to start. I'm gonna give you another example, okay? This footage, that is the park, I don't know, shooting the flowers or the plants, whatever, and then I go here and then a dog is starting to come, but I can see the hand there and I can see the dog. I don't like the hand, and the dog is not the composition is not good. The dog is like, the nose is cut. There you go. I wanted to start there. Okay, you can see here, I want to cut this part here. So what I do with the ripple tool is I'm going to go here. That's another example I'm giving you, and I'm going to do this. Whoop, here. What is going to happen is the video is going to stick to the left. Boom, it just stuck to the left. And now as you can see, these are all the plants, and then boom, look where it started, where I want it, the nose. So this is basically what the ripple tool is doing, is helping you to cut, but then it's pushing all the footages to the left, so everything is going to be organized. You don't need to be doing these 4 or 5 steps to cut. Now, if you put it in the next footage, the arrow just switched. You see, the arrow is pointing to the right, and now it's pointing to the left. It means you can do exactly the same in the left, and these footages here, boom, are gonna come close to the left and stick to it. This, let me tell you something, this is going to save you so much time. Just remember that I showed you is 4 steps to cut a footage, and with this we just do it in 1 step. So this is gonna help you a lot. I know that there are a few tools here. You don't need to remember all of them. Just practice, and when you practice, you're gonna get them and you're gonna choose the ones you like better. Because I'm gonna tell you a secret, I don't use all of the tools, I use few of them, and it's my workflow. So when you start to practice, when you start to edit, I'm telling you, it's very fun. It's a lot of fun editing. Then you're going to figure out which are the tools you're gonna use more, and you're gonna create your own workflow, and you're gonna choose the ones that you like better. So don't worry about learning everything 100%, because that's not the way. Practice is the way. So let's see the extra options in the ripple tool, because as you can see here is also a little white triangle here. So let's press, hold. As you can see, you have the rolling edit tool, the shift, the short key is N. You have the rate stretch tool, and the short key is R. Let's go to the rolling edit tool. Okay, remember, short key N. Look at this. It's like 4 arrows, a line, and it's like a weird symbol. But every time you put it where you can use it, it's gonna change the color, and now it's all red. You see, very nice. Now, what this tool does is to pull more information of one clip while taking information of another. For you to understand what I just said, let's pull this video here. Let's pull it also here down, so it's completely separated from the others, okay? Remember that we cut the nose was horrible. It was cut in the composition, so I reduced the video. I cut the video to start from here. So let me tell you something. I didn't erase that part of the footage. What I did is I cut that footage for the editing, but I didn't erase the information. If you drag all the way here, you can see that I just got the information back. Look at this. Information is back. The hand that I didn't want it to appear, the dog here, and then the nose of the dog and the head of the dog that was cut. All the information is here. What I just did is, when I cut, what I do is I hide the information. Now that we understand everything about the information of the videos and this thing that I explained now I'm going to explain you how this tool works. Remember, we're talking about the rolling edit tool or the short key N. There you go. I just press N and it came everything. Let me see. Let's don't get confused. So I'm going to start erasing the audios, so you're not going to get confused, and this is going to be easier to understand, okay? There you go. Let's cut this a little bit. This is the dog. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to show you how this works. Let's go into press N and we go to this the rolling edit tool. Okay, now we have the rolling edit tool. What is going to happen is this. Let's check out this video. She's walking, she's walking, she's walking. She's about to smell the flowers. And boom, the dog starts there. Okay, I don't want that. I want this to appear here, for example, where the dog is standing or a little bit, there you go. So what I'm going to do, like the name says, rolling tool, I'm gonna roll this video forward because remember, I was telling you every video that I cut it actually still have information. So I'm gonna show you here, this video has also information. Look, it's about to start smelling the flowers and the dog is coming. Okay, but if I pull this, I have a lot of information here that I cut it and I don't want to cut it now. Okay, let's go back like how it was. I was just explaining, sorry. Okay, what I'm going to do with the tool, I'm going to start rolling. Did you see what is happening? I'm rolling. So on the top, you can see in the left, she was about to start to smell the flowers and then I cut it, right? But now look at this. She's smelling the flowers, smelling the flowers. In the other side, the dog is standing. There you go. I want this to happen there. I released the button and looks what it happened. What it happened is this tool pulled information from this video and took out information from the other video. Now, as you can see, if you play it, she's getting close to the flowers. She's smelling the flowers now, before she was not. And then the dog is there exactly where I wanted, like when he's watching in front. Remember? So that's it. That's a rolling tool. I'm gonna show you another example so you can understand. With the same video, we are in V. Remember, we started from 0. We have the arrow selection tool. We have these two videos. Now we're going to do it, but to the opposite side. She's smelling the flowers, right? I don't want her to smell the flowers. I want her to smell the flowers just until there. When she's starting to smell the flowers, I want to cut this. But at the same time, I want this video to grow. So I'm going to press N again, and I'm going to do the opposite. And you can see on the top what I'm cutting and what I'm adding. You see, in the left is the dog. In the left is Xenia that is smelling the flowers, and in the right is the dog. And you can see where I'm going to start and where I'm going to finish. There you go. Now she's starting to smell the flowers and the dog is coming. To make it more understandable, every video has an in point and an out point, right? So in this case, for example, the in point is Xenia walking and the out point is Xenia starting to smell the flowers. In the other video, the in point is the dog facing on the front and the out point is the dog leaving. You can see my shadow here recording. Okay, the dog leaving and my horrible shadow here recording. That's the out point. So what the rolling tool does is when I press, the out point of the first video is going to move it and it's going to change the in point of the second video. The second video, the in point is going to be later and the out point of the first video is going to be later also. So that's what is moving, you see? We're moving all the out points. If I go the opposite side, for example, Xenia is going backwards and I don't want her to smell the flowers. So I go back and now look at this. Now Xenia is just walking. So the out point changed and the dog and the hunt is coming because the in point of the second video changed also. I know sometimes this can sound a little confusing. My suggestion, as I always do, this is a software, an editing software. So my suggestion is play with it. Go, put a lot of footages, start to use all the tools, and then you're gonna understand 100% how the tools are working. Okay, now let's go to V again. We are with the selection tool and let's go back here. Remember that we have the rolling tool. If you press in the corner, you have 3 options. We already saw the ripple edit tool, the B. We saw the rolling edit tool just now, and let's now check the rate stretch tool. Remember that what is written here, it helps a lot. Ripple tool is the tool that is rippling the footages. Rolling tool is making the footages rolling in front, rolling backwards, rolling forward. It's simple as that. And now the rate stretch tool, we're going to stretch the footages and let's see how it works. And the short key, R. Okay, we are now again these arrows, weird arrows with the line, red line. It means that we cannot do anything now here. As soon as we get here, the arrows are changing. To show you how this works, we're going to pull the footage up. Okay, this video here has like 7 seconds. Okay, you see, it starts here walking and finishes when Senya is smelling the flowers. What the stretch tool is going to do is to make this video shorter or longer, but it's not going to change the in point and the out point. It's not going to change it. What it's going to do is to stretch the video out. So if I go here, for example, and I push the arrow like this, now the video is shorter, but I didn't cut it. I stretch it in. So now it's going to be fast. Look at this. She's walking like she's running. Oy, 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 super fast. So now what we're going to do is the opposite. What happens if I stretch it out? Look at this. It's in slow motion. Because I'm not changing the in point and the out point. The video is staying exactly the same, but I'm stretching it out. And it's also very useful. I use this tool a lot. This is one of the tools I use a lot. And then you can see it's 48%, you know, 100% would be the regular speed. 48% is like a little bit less than half of the speed. If I go shorter, there you go, we can make it bigger so we can read a little bit. Let's put the blue line here. Now we are in 202%, so this is double the speed, you see? So basically this is what this tool does. It's not cutting, it's shortening and make the video and making it longer, but it's not cutting, it's stretching. Okay, again, practice. Go into Premiere now, open it if you don't have it open, and start to put footages there and start to stretch them out. And this is the only way you're going to learn to use Premiere Pro faster. Now we're going to go back how it was before. And don't worry, because we're going to use all of these tools in the next lesson when we're going to start editing. Now we go to the simple cut. Razor cut, the razor tool. It's just to cut. This is gonna make all the cuts you want. You want to cut here, you want to cut here, you want to cut. This is for cutting all the footages however you want. Okay, I don't use it much, believe me, believe it or not, because most of the people I know, they use this tool a lot. I don't use it much because, like I showed you before, when you cut something, then you cut it because you don't want it, then you have to go back to the selection tool, or B, then you have to select the item you don't want because you just cut it, erase it, but then the video cannot have a hole, so you have to paste it again. So it's too many steps. That's why I don't use it much. I use more the ripple, the rolling, and all of these tools. So I don't use it much, but that's why the cut is here. That's what the cut does. Let's go back because there's so many cuts. Let's go back to how it was. There you go. Now let's go to the next tool, and this is the sleep tool. For the sleep tool, let's use this file that it's long. Okay, the dog and whatever. Okie doke. Let's cut it here and let's cut it a little bit here, and let's use this file. Okay. There you go. Now we're going to use the sleep tool that is the letter Y. That's the short key. So what the sleep tool is going to do is this. The size of the video is always going to stay the same of this footage. You can see that it starts here and finishes here. I'm going to move the things here inside, but the size is the same. You see, I'm not shorting the video or making the video longer. No, not at all. This is basically, remember that we have some information here and some information here that we cut from the video, but we didn't erase. So what we're going to do is to change the in point and the out point. What I'm moving inside the video, you see? So to explain you better, let's do this. There you go. Start point, the dog. If I start to move it, you can see on the top where the video starts, and on the left and on the right side you see where the video is going to end. You see? There you go. I'm gonna leave it there, and now you can see that the video is starting there. It's not starting where it was before. Remember his nose here, okay? Let's go all the way to the other side. Now look where the video is starting. but the face is here on the top. The nose was here before, now it's on the top. So I move the video. So what you do here is you move the video to the right or to the left inside the same spot. Now the question is, why would I use that? Okay, let's go here. Let's stick all the videos together. And let's say Senya is smelling the flowers. It's so nice. And then the dog is there. Let's use the rip tool and let's go how it was, okay? Okay, let's go here. Senya is here. Is going to smell the flowers. Sorry about that. Okay, Senya is here and he's going to smell the flowers. There you go. And then the dog starts and it's the hand there that I didn't want to appear. So what I do is I press Y. I'm going to change the in point, okay? I'm gonna move a little bit and I can see here you can see in the left side the hand. The hand, I don't want it, so just move it a little bit, and then the face is cut of the dog. There you go. In the left side, you can see that the face is not cut anymore. I just release the clicking button, and now you can see here that she's smelling the flowers, and the dog is starting there. So what I'm doing is I'm moving the video inside the same size of the video, because I have information and information here. But what happens if I want to do that with this video? In this video, you can see that here on the top corner, on top corners, there is like a white triangle. I'm gonna put it out so you can see it. You see here, white triangle, white triangle. What does it mean? I didn't cut anything in these videos. So here, there's no information, and here, no information. If I wanna pull it, I can't. If I want to pull it, I can't. There's no information here. So if I want to use this tool, the sleep tool here, it's not going to be possible because I don't have information in the sides to play with. And that's as simple as that. And like I said before, I'll suggest you to put the videos together, your footages that you know them very good, like you filmed them, and then you know that it starts in this, it finishes in this, and play with this tool so you can understand better. It's the only way we can practice and we can learn more about these tools, because if you've never edited a video, or this is the first time that you are going to edit videos, then you are not going to understand much just by listening. You have to practice, okay? So go and try these tools, try the sleep tool and all of these tools to understand. As you can see here in the sleep tool, there's also here on the bottom a triangle, so it means there's more here, and it's the slide tool. In the slide tool, you have the short key U. The slide tool is basically, again, all the tools are actually named because for a reason. You're gonna slide the videos. So for example, I have this video, okay? This video is her walking and smelling the flowers. We're using always this so we can understand the tools, and then when we start to edit, we're going to use all the videos that I filmed in the park just to make this course. So she's starting to walk and she's smelling the flowers. I don't want to change the size of this. This is really nice. I like exactly how it is. She starts to walk and then she smells the flowers. But the dog here, I don't mind if this footage is going to change a little bit, and I don't mind if this footage is going to change a little bit, because as you can see from the footage starts to the end is very similar, so I don't mind. So what I want to do is to move this footage where she's smelling the flowers. As you can see, she walks and smells the flowers, to move this footage a little bit to this side, okay, to the left side, so backwards. But I don't want the whole editing and the whole video to change the size or the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna pull this video, that is the one I want to move to the left side. But when I'm going to do it, look at this. It's actually, you see the brown lines. This is what it's telling me. I'm going to cut part of the video from the left and pull part of the video from the right. Click. So now what I did is I moved this video without changing anything from the video, but the video before this one, I cut it. I cut a little piece of this video, and this video here where the dog is, I add a little bit of information of this video. So I slip it, and if I do the opposite, I want now this video. Remember that the middle footage, the one I'm moving, is not going to change. It's going to start always in the in point, is going to be the same, and the out point is going to be the same. This is not going to change. What I'm going to change is the videos next to that video, okay? As soon as I start to pull this video, to slide it to the right, I'm starting to cut the video from the right and to pull part of the information of the video from the left. And this is what this slide tool does. Slides everything to the sides. Remember, the short key for this is U. Now let's go to the next tool, the pen tool. I'm not going to explain the pen tool now because we use the pen tool to create keyframes, and we're going to talk about keyframes in a future lesson. It's actually a whole lesson about just keyframes, and this is to make animations and put volume up or down. I'm going to explain you everything about keyframes in a future lesson, so don't worry. We're going to skip the pen tool for now, and then let's go to the hand. And this is basically a tool to move in the timeline. As you can see, we move in the timeline. You can also use this to move in the timeline, but it's easier when you are editing here and start to going all the way down. You just press H, that is the short key for the hand, and then you can move it like this. It's very useful. It's simple but very useful. Okay, now if you press here, you have also the zoom tool. What the zoom tool does is to get closer and closer. Let's make it super big. Now I'm gonna show you the zoom tool. It gets closer and closer and closer to the footages. You're gonna use a lot the zoom tool if you are, for example, using audio here and you wanna cut exactly when the person start to talk and the person stop talking, or when the dog is coming exactly there. You wanna be very precise with the footages. Then you're gonna use the zoom tool. And the short key is Z, so you don't need to come all the way here and press the zoom tool, because as simple as pressing Z, let's go to V, for example, where with the selection tool, you press Z and it goes to the zoom tool immediately, so no problem. And there's always many ways to do everything in Premiere Pro. Another way to zoom also is pressing the plus key in your keyboard, and that's it. You're gonna zoom in. As you can see, zoom in and zoom out, okay? Let's go to the next tool, that is the T or text. Don't worry also, because we're going to make a whole lesson about text and about how to create titles and all of these details, so don't worry, we're not going to talk about it now, but that's what this is here for. If you press the T, then you can come here and you can start typing whatever the title you want to type, and then you can change the fonts and you can create animations, and we're gonna do that, don't worry, in future lessons, so don't worry, okay? Now if you see the arrow here, it means there's something else. When you press here, you have the vertical type tool, so it means when you type, it goes vertical, as you can see. But again, don't worry, we're gonna do a proper lesson about text and titles. As you can see, learning about the tools could be a little overwhelming, but don't worry, with practice everything gets easier. And there is a secret: I don't use all the tools, and I don't think any professional editor is using exactly and specifically all the tools. We use some of them. With practice and using all the tools and trying to learn about the tools, you're gonna understand which tools are better for you, for your workflow. So don't worry, practice and practice, and you'll understand and you'll learn which are the tools for you. Now, let's start editing.